This video had about 8 hours of footage, so I ended up splitting it into 2 parts, so hopefully you can check both of those out. My name is Lindsay, and I'd like to give you motivation to get your daily tasks done, decluttering, home home improvements, whatever it is that you have to get done on your list. Cooking, obviously, that's kind of what I do. I'm kind of a homemaker slash do whatever I have to do. I am also a mother of 2, and I was wearing glasses and I switched to contacts pretty quickly while I was cutting up all these onions. And I cut up however many were in that bag. I think it's like a 3-pound bag from Walmart. And I like to freeze them every so often. I actually need to get some more onions because I'm out, but yeah. So I like to freeze them with a parchment paper in between each layer. So I do like a thin layer and then I freeze them and then I throw them in a Ziploc bag once they're all frozen so that they're frozen separately and it's a lot easier to cook with them in the future. But yeah, so there's a good layer there. And then I'll show you how I bag them in a little bit. But I did this after church one day and I just was still wearing my dress. So that's why I am wearing a dress, and it was still somewhat cold outside at the time, which is why I'm wearing a cardigan. I actually wear cardigans all throughout the summer though too, so I guess it doesn't really matter, but lately, the last few days or so, it's been so freaking hot. So I still wear jeans, like long jeans, but I'll be wearing like t-shirts and sandals and things, but I like the long jeans because I don't know. I just have a hard time wanting to show off my legs. When you're tall, it's like I've got like chicken legs. But anyway, I don't think I have chicken legs, but it feels that way sometimes. But yeah, I feel like Devin was helping me there with the parchment paper, but I feel like I'm always just trying to get things done, trying to better my home. And in this video, while I was editing, I had so much deja vu. I was like, didn't I just clean that? Didn't I just wash that dish? There's so many things that I do over and over and over again in this video, but that's life. And I watched a Remy Clog video recently where she was like, I'm gonna show you how long it takes me to clean my entire house. And basically, she had to revisit the same areas over and over and over and over again. I do save um, some of the onion for the meal I was making. I think I was making like some meatloaf or something, I think, and soup. I think I made meatloaf and potato soup because that's what I was craving, and I was like, I want potato soup, but I also want meatloaf, and it was very good. So that was what I did, and here I am just cleaning up all the onions. And yes, I wear gloves when I cut onions because I hate the smell of onions on my hands. But I always throw it in a bag before I throw it into the garbage because onion, if you haven't noticed, is very stinky. So that's one thing. But as I am cleaning up this counter, you'll see me clean up this counter a few times in these 2 videos if you watch both parts. I will have the second part linked below as well if you want to watch it. I'll probably post it tomorrow, but I wanted to post one video today and then I'll probably get the other one up tomorrow. And yeah, so here I am just sorting through things. I don't know, there's always just so much stuff. This section of the counter, the peninsula in my kitchen, it collects so many things, and so does honestly my whole counter because it's a flat surface and I can only do what I can do, and it's fine. It's all good. You'll see that I have a towel on the counter, and I like to dry some of my dishes before I put them away completely. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I feel like putting away wet dishes from the dishwasher just is not a good idea, especially since I like to close my Tupperware. Or I got someone once complained to me that I called my food storage containers Tupperware. Guys, it's a lot easier to say. It's not actual Tupperware. It's not the brand, but it's like I grew up calling food storage containers Tupperware, and so it just kind of was that way. It's like calling a bag, like a sandwich bag, a Ziploc, even if it's not actually Ziploc, or a Band-Aid versus a bandage. So even if you don't buy the brand Band-Aid, I think most people still call it Band-Aid. So to me, it's like the same thing. Anyway, I felt like I was like, semantics, it doesn't matter if I call it a Tupperware. And I'm sure other people do the same thing, so I don't know. But in this video, I do accomplish a few things that I had been wanting to get done for a while. Obviously, dishes is just always an everyday task that needs to get done, and I don't know. Is it never ending in your house too? And do you have like piles upon piles of dishes because you didn't want to do them the day before, and then you're like, I should have done them the day before. It would have been so much easier had I just done them the day before, but then you didn't want to do them, and it's a cycle. And I always think, especially when I'm editing these videos, when I'm putting together the clips and everything, I'm like watching myself do dishes over and over and over and over again, and I'm like, the dishes math really is a thing. The other day, I didn't do dishes for like 2 days, and I ended up having to do dishes for a solid hour. And like some of the dishes were the harder dishes to wash, and my dishwasher wouldn't fit all of them, so I had to wash some things by hand, and I didn't finish all the dishes, and that was so frustrating because there was like 3 sippy cups that would not go in, and I am not about to hand wash sippy cups. I don't know what it is. I hate it. I hate hand washing bottles too, so I usually try and get those in first. But there was just so many dishes, and yes, I did fill up my sink with water because this section of doing dishes, it didn't fit all of my dishes either, but I was like, well, I can come back and do another load before we go to bed. And here I am, they froze for a few hours. The onions froze for a few hours, and then I just put them in a Ziploc bag, just a really big Ziploc bag, so that I could stick them in my freezer and use them for meals and things. And I use them up. I love it, and I feel like it tastes better. And then I don't have to cut onions so often. I hate cutting onions. Like, it's my least favorite thing. I always have to wear gloves and contacts. If I don't wear contacts, then I cry. And then if I cut onions for a long period of time, then it even starts to irritate my eyes behind my contacts. But yeah, so just putting away all the dishes that were left out to dry, and then sticking some on the towel to dry as well. Also, I just kind of unload it onto the towel, and then I sort it out. As you could hear, Dan was calling my name so that I could give him a snack. I feel like that's my entire life, is laundry, dishes, and giving my children snacks. Is that your life too? Anyway, so I'm just unloading the dishwasher, and sometimes I'll like unload it completely and then load it so that the dishes start, because that's honestly the biggest task, is getting them into the dishwasher so that I can have clean dishes. And then I'll sometimes put them away after I load the dishwasher, but I guess today was not that day because I wanted to unload and then sort them all out into the drawers and everything. My kitchen is fairly big, so I like to make sure that I have enough energy to like move everything where it needs to go. But yeah, so sometimes I'll leave things on the towel to dry even after I pull them out of the dishwasher. So that's probably whatever was left on the towel was still a little wet. So I didn't want to put it away yet, but I got another load into the dishwasher, and then I probably still had to hand wash some things because we had dinner, and I had to wash all the things from dinner as well as the dishes that were left in the dishwasher or in the sink before that didn't fit into the dishwasher. So that's kind of where that is. I don't know why this is coming to my mind, but I have been watching Midwest Magic Cleaning. I don't know if anyone else watches that show, but it has enticed me, and I love, for one thing, I love his sense of humor. I honestly don't know his name because every time he intros the video, he says his name is something different. He said in the one I watched today, "Hi, my name is Smooth," and I was like, that's great, but I also don't know your real names. But him and his son, and sometimes his daughter, will go clean houses for free, and he uses the money that he receives from the channel as money to help other people clean their houses. And I was like, that is so amazing. And even just my house can be so overwhelming. So I can only imagine having some of these mental hurdles that people go through and having to deal with the things that they go through, and then also hoarding disorder, and then unable to clean because they're depressed. And it's just like, it's such a blessing that people like him will go and clean houses like that, because it would cost thousands of dollars to get someone to come in and clean that. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. So I think that there are so many great channels out there. Like Ari Katerina is one of them as well, and she cracks me up because she like loves the dirt, and she's always talking about how much she loves to clean, and I'm just like, I don't know that world. But I have been watching the Midwest Magic cleaning channel, and I really enjoy watching his like how to clean videos, and he made one that's like, you need to watch this before you graduate high school. And honestly, I'm like, I need to watch it now because it teaches you how to clean your house. And I'm like, I could still learn some things because I am not good at it. I need to learn how to clean better. But I'm also like, I'm in a stage of life where cleaning has not been a priority. Also, right now I am, in this video, I'm making a red velvet cake for my brother-in-law. He was going to open his mission call. If you don't know what that means, it just means that he's going on an LDS mission and for our church, and he was opening the call in front of friends and family. And so I made some cupcakes and a cake, and I made fondant, and it was the first time ever trying fondant, but it was really fun. So it was just fun to kind of play around with the fondant and to make this cake. And I used a trick that I saw on Facebook, or no, not Facebook, on YouTube. It was like a YouTube short where you put rice at the bottom of the cupcake pan, and it like lifts, it raises the cupcake a little bit higher so that you don't get the like greasiness on the bottom. I'm like, this might work. And honestly, I just kind of wanted to try it. So I tried it. I'm like, I doubt it's going to ruin anything. So I tried it, and it works pretty good, actually. They weren't like, what's the word? Like greasy on the bottom like they would be. But I also don't use oil in my cupcakes or in my cake. I always do butter instead of oil, and I do milk instead of water, and then I add an extra egg. I do that like trick where you make a cake mix taste better. Anyway, so I do that, but so I did that one little cake because I needed that one for putting the fondant on, and then I did the 18 cupcakes or however many there were. Those are the only cupcake pans I have, and I need to get another big one because the smaller one is technically from Dan's Little Kitchen, and I always wash it before I use it, obviously. But I just think it's funny because it's technically his like toy one. It's an old one that I got from like the Dollar Tree, so it technically would work as one, but he uses it in his little play kitchen for the most part. But when I need to make like a lot of cupcakes, I'll steal that out of his little kitchen. And yeah, and here is my attempt of making fondant, and it is the marshmallow fondant, which is more edible and tasty than if you were to make or buy the other fondant, and it's a lot cheaper too, but it is freaking messy, and I've never made it before, so I was like, how am I supposed to do this? And I think I just needed more of the sugar, powdered sugar. Look at my hands, they're covered. I washed my hands like 8 times, but I was also like, I'm just wasting the product, but it's fine. I didn't eat any of it. I did lick my hands on accident because like it's just like habit. You like lick your hands and then you're like, crap. Like right before I washed my hands, I like licked them and I was like, oh my gosh, because I don't eat sugar, so it was like really, really sugary and it hurt my head. But it's fine. I ended up bringing out this. I think it did specify that you should use a blender, but I don't know. I don't really know if I did it correctly. I'm sure I could just keep mixing it with my hands and it would be fine too. It was hot though because you have to microwave the marshmallows with water before. Anyway, it was a mess, and I honestly, before I started editing this video, I had forgotten that I did it because I think I blocked it out because it was one of those experiences that I don't know if I'll do again for a very long time unless I have to. I was like, I should have just made some black icing. But I wanted to try fondant. I don't know. I thought it would be fun. And then I colored it black, and that was also a feat and a half. It was like I should have just made extra icing. And yeah. I did forget to show, I didn't film rolling it out. I did film like putting it, like coloring it and everything, but I didn't film rolling it out because I thought I had my camera filming, but I guess not. Here I am putting gloves on because I was dealing with black food coloring, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna get some gloves on. And I probably should have laid some parchment paper down or something underneath it. I didn't color my counter or anything, but it was still like a little nerve-wracking with the black. Devin's like, are you staining our counter? I'm like, I don't think so. I mean, it's possible. There might be a spot or two. Who knows? But it's not like anything super noticeable, so it's fine. But yeah, so it was very black, and it worked out for what I needed. And I don't know. I don't know if it was like the best thing ever, but I thought it was really fun to make. And I ended up using a little bit of water because it was like super dry. So I added a little bit of water, and it brought the color way out, which was nice. I guess I could have like spread a little bit of water on top. There we go. There's the water. Look at that. Look at all that black food coloring. Anyway, I could have like spread some water on the top of it after to like really shine it up, but it didn't need to be shiny, so it was fine. Hopefully it tasted okay. I don't know. Is black food coloring like a good flavor? I didn't taste it. I didn't dare. After I licked my hands after the marshmallow mixture, I was like, I can't do that again. And then I did make a sugar-free cake that me and my little boy and my husband were eating, just because my mother-in-law also doesn't eat sugar, so I was like, well, I'm going to make a sugar-free option for anyone. And this is I used the sugar-free pistachio pudding mix to give it the pistachio flavor. And I only used about half of a container of that, and then I used the zero sugar, whatever it's called, the zero sugar cake mix. And then I used the other half in the mixture for I used the other half of the Jell-O for the frosting, and it was really good. I think I would maybe add more pistachio flavoring into it next time, but I think it was still really good. It was super fluffy. I did end up adding extra milk, I think, because of the pudding mix, because I added that in. It needed a little bit more moisture to it, so it is what it is. It wasn't perfect, but it was really good still, and like honestly, I wanted to eat it like crazy. And then here I'm making this is not sugar-free, obviously. This is a cream cheese frosting for the red velvet cake. And so that was fun to make. As you can see, I just kind of mess around in my kitchen, and it's a lot of fun. And people seem to enjoy it. My mother-in-law had asked me to make these for our family thing, for the mission call opening. And so I had only a few hours to put it together, and I think I went a little overzealous by making 2 cakes. But honestly, the second cake was it was basically not hard at all. The one that was hard was this one. And there's the rolled out piece, and I had put it on top of that little square. And then I thought it was cute, and then I did some words on top. And I will not say that I am very good at the lettering, but here you can kind of see I just used a knife to spread the whatever it is, the frosting on top of the cupcakes, just because I didn't really care that much. And I did put frosting on the little cake first before I rolled the fondant out onto it. But yeah, I wish I had had that footage, because I was a little sad when I got to my computer and I was like, dang it, I didn't film that. What? I actually think I didn't notice it because I thought I had pressed record, and then I went to go stop recording, and I hadn't even started recording. So there's that funness. But yeah, so just layering the cupcakes with I had like zero time at this point. I was like, okay, I gotta hurry with the decorations. And so I was just kind of hurrying, and the other cupcakes were out of the oven, and I'm just blurring out the last name because it's also my last name. So I'm just gonna blur that out really quickly, or black it out for you. And it's just a mission tag. So the missionaries in our church, they wear these tags that say Elder blank, like Elder Smith, and then it goes the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints underneath. So that's what that says, and it's just upside down. But I think I do show it the other way in a minute. Oh, my voice is, I bet I'm losing my voice. But yeah, I felt like it was good, and then I just did black icing. I just used the same icing and made it so that it's had like a little black tie with a little tag. I thought it was cute, so it made it kind of look like a missionary shirt and tag. So if you're not LDS, you probably haven't really known it, but I don't know if you've seen like the Book of Mormon musical or whatever. I don't think I've actually seen that, but if you've seen that, I know that they wear the same stuff in them. And I think the last few cupcakes that I did were probably the best because I didn't really know what I was going for, and then I think the tie being in the middle with it being lined up with the tag made it look the cutest. But the people really liked them. They thought it was good, so I was like, that's great. Do what you want. I don't know what that means. But it felt good to have that done. And then for the frosting for the sugar-free cake, all I do is I whip up some whipped cream, so heavy whipping cream, and I whip it up basically into whipped cream, and then I added sugar, not sugar, 0-calorie sweetener, and then I did some of the packet of the pistachio stuff, the pudding mix. And then I mix that together, and then I just kind of throw it on top of the cake, and it was delicious. And then I actually do cut up some pistachios to throw on top as well. Dan wanted to decorate some of the cupcakes, so I just threw some frosting on top of them. Frosting, whipped cream with Jell-O pudding in it, but it's delicious. Anyway, if you ever want to try it, you should. And then I let him put some sprinkles on a couple of them, and that's how he decorated it. Yeah, the sprinkles are not sugar-free, but they're the ones I have, and they're the ones that he used, and it's fine. He ate the cupcakes with a little bit of sprinkles on top. But I took this cake to the party. I didn't take the cupcakes because I was like, I don't want to deal with that. But I did bring this cake for anyone that wanted anything sugar-free. It was so dang delicious. It was so good. I would recommend. That Pillsbury sugar-free cake mix is yummy. But here you go, and then here's the aftermath. And then this is after the party. I came home and I started cleaning, and you'll see on my face like how exhausted I am at the very end of this video, at the end of part 1. Oh my gosh, it was so long. That day was a long day, and I mean, I was making desserts forever. And then I came home and my house was a disaster. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to take this 30 minutes and clean my house, do all the dishes, make my house decent for tomorrow, because I do not want to come into the kitchen in the morning after sleeping tonight and have to do 2 loads of dishes. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to make my house as clean as possible and do what I can. And yeah, so cleaning up, it's not always fun. Devin actually came in and unloaded the dishwasher for me so that I didn't have to deal with that part. And that was really helpful. I cleaned up the living room because there had been a ton of toys in the living room from the boys playing with them while I was doing the cakes and everything and all that fun stuff. So here I am just trying to make my house a little better, and I know there's going to be things on the counter still, and it is what it is, but at least the counters are cleaned and cleared off for the most part. And there's my wonderful husband emptying the dishwasher. You can't see him, but you can see the dishwasher was open. And then I'm just kind of doing what I can in this area. And then, oh, I gotta yawn 1 second. So I just said I had to yawn, and so I yawned, and I paused my recording. And then I went to go listen to like the last 10 seconds again, and just hearing myself yawn made me yawn. So hopefully I didn't make everyone else yawn, but man, I did not sleep. Well, I didn't sleep well 2 nights ago. Last night I actually slept really well, but I didn't sleep long enough, I guess. I don't know. I woke up at 7-ish, which is not the earliest. It was decent, but it was just like, that's crazy. I don't know why I'm so tired. And it is what it is. But it felt good to get my house cleaned after all of that, and like I was able to just kind of relax and regenerate after we watched a show, and it was just nice. So we went to bed, and I was pretty dang tired. We got home so late, I think, because we didn't even get to my mother-in-law's until like 8 o'clock, and then we still had to wait to hear the mission call, and then I think we were there till like 9:30. It is not a normal night for us. We got home probably a little bit before 10, which is late for a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old. That's just late. It just is late. But yeah, it felt really good once my house was cleared up and cleaned and everything. And there's my dog trying to see if there's anything she can lap up for me, clean up. And, you know, I don't know. I felt really accomplished after doing those cakes, and it felt really good to share my craft because I do really like to bake cakes and bake things. So I've been like trying to find a balance because I do like to make sure that I am eating healthier, but I enjoy making cakes and I enjoy making desserts and breads and things. So I am learning, hopefully soon, how to do some sourdough. And if you want to see some of those videos, let me know. I would love to make some videos on sourdough. I don't know if I'm good at it yet, but I do like to make those things. So yeah, I don't know. I would love to like can, and I'd love to, I don't know, do all those homesteading things that help you to be healthier, because I do like vegetables, and maybe one day I'll even do a garden. And that's saying a lot for me because I do not like to garden. But I think that's getting to the end of this portion of the video, because we're getting to the part where I smile at the camera like a crazy person. There I am. Let's get into part 2. I will have it linked below, and it's probably at the end of this video as well. Love you guys. Bye!